Hey guys. So, all of our general purposes of all of our speeches is to persuade. Now, I'm persuading all of you guys that the American education system places too much importance on grades and way too much importance and way too much stress on students to do good with their grades that in the end don't matter. Now, hear me out, because I know I sound crazy, but hear me out. Every year, thousands of college students intend to commit suicide, turn to drug and alcohol abuse, or go down other bad roads because of the stress that college comes with. Students need to know that grades in high school and college, in the end, have very little effect on anything. There are way too many students putting their health aside for something as stupid as a grade on a computer. Students need to realize that their health comes first. It doesn't matter what it is, because at the end of the day, if you're in the hospital and you're hospitalized because of all this anxiety and stress and something happens to you, you can't do homework anyway. You won't get your degree then. Sorry to break it to you. Learn that one the hard way. Some of the main points that I found in some sources were number one, in 2014, Dr. Larvosi wrote a book titled Mental Health Issues and the University Student about college students and their mental health. In her book, Dr. Lavosi provides several examples of bad outlets that students turn to attempt to cope with their poor mental health, such as substance abuse, self-harm, eating disorders, anxiety, stress, all those bad things. With that first point being said, we must do something about this issue. It's growing and it's getting worse and it needs to stop. Another point that was made in one of my sources was in January of 2013, an article titled Suicide Prevention in College Students was written, and one of the main points of it was throughout the United States, in all different colleges and universities, suicide is one of the leading causes of death. Every year, 24,000 students attempt to take their own lives, and about 1,100 students actually succeed between the ages of 18 and 24. On May 8th of 2019, a video interview was made asking college students how their time in college affected their mental health. In this interview, students were asked questions about their mental health experiences throughout college. Now, with this interview, 7 out of 8 students said that they have had mental health issues in college or know someone who did. One student also said that she had bad anxiety but was never diagnosed with it because her parents did not believe in mental health. They thought it made her crazy and just didn't support her. One student also said that she had been hospitalized due to an eating disorder and had a lot of time spent in the hospital because of all of her stress. She turned to not eating because she was doing homework all night and just forgot to eat. Students had also said that there was a lot of ignorance going into this topic and did not know enough about it. And then another student said that they were ashamed of their mental health issues. And it was also said that they were seen to have a mental health issue and they thought it made them weak and other people would think differently of them and just talk down on them. Another point was made on October 23rd of 2019 in an article titled Why People Say GPA Doesn't Matter for Jobs. And the main point of this article was that GPA will not make or break you when it comes to applying for jobs after college. The employer more cares about whether or not you can do the job other than like your GPA that you had years ago. Like, it just doesn't matter. Also, for most jobs, there are training to do for the job. Cops, lawyers, doctors, they'll all train you on what they need you to do and how to do the jobs. So you really don't need schooling or GPA to define you on a piece of paper. On April 9th of 2019, a TED Talk titled Why You Should Never Let a Grade Define Who You Are was posted, and the main point of it was Dr. Ahmed was saying there was way too many students who let grades define who they are, and they shouldn't, because grades don't make someone who they are. You choose that for yourself as a person. He also talks about how in the long run grades don't matter and they shouldn't. As a college student with poor mental health, I know how it feels. Unfortunately, I spent a lot of long sleepless nights doing homework, studying, forgetting to eat, being so worried and down on myself because what if I fail this exam? What if I do this? What if I do that? Doesn't matter. I have spent a lot of time researching this topic in and out of college, and I found that I relate to a lot of these issues that I stated in the beginning of my speech. So today we'll be talking about problems, causes, and solutions to this issue that are getting significantly worse over the course of time. There are several problems surrounding this issue, and here's some of the ones that I wrote. Students are under so much pressure in high school and college due to being told that they have to get good grades in order to get into college and find a job after college. This is not true. I graduated with a 2.5 GPA. Not ashamed to say that. And the max for Eastern, when I looked it up, said 3.2. I still got in, obviously. I'm here before you today telling my story. It's great. I'm actually proud of my GPA, and I will never be ashamed of it because that's not who I am. Another problem with this is students get too depressed and stressed over this issue because of homework and all that. So they turn into bad outlets like substance abuse, alcohol abuse, self-harm, intending to commit suicide, actually committing suicide, eating disorders, increased anxiety, lack of sleep, etc. With all of this being said, there's a huge pressure on students to even go to college. At a young age, we've always been told that you cannot be successful and get a job if you do not go to college, and that is just not true. My brother's a welder. He never went to college. At just the age of 21, he has his own house in his own name, his own car, and he's married. He is a very successful man, never went to college. College is not for everyone, and it does not have to be. Because we are so ignorant to the topic of going to college, many students going into college don't even know how anything works, like financial aid, how setting up classes work, what are credit hours, all of that. Some causes to this are no one tells you early on that 1, you don't even have to go to college to be successful, like I said. 2, grades are not the only things that they look at when you apply to college. They'll look at your letters of recommendation. Did you do any outside activities out of school? Did you do clubs in school? Did you do sports? All that. And 3, if you graduate high school with bad grades, you can go to summer school and get your grades up, or you can go to a community college and then get all your good grades. Then you can transfer to a university if that's the path you choose for yourself. And then they will never even look at your high school grades. Ever. Some solutions to this problem is, despite all the contributions to this issue, there is one concrete solution, and that is to teach your children and students at home and at school all of the things that I just stated early on in my speech. Another solution is to reach out for help if you're struggling. Don't be afraid to, and don't be afraid to ask questions if you need help. There's always counseling advisors, and there's offices that you can go to reach out for help. Even if you're just having one bad day. There's no shame in asking for help. Okay, today I give you the problems, solutions, and causes surrounding this issue. By understanding this issue, we can avoid it. Parents and teachers should be teaching their students and children the solutions of this issue, and students should be asking for help when they need it. This issue needs to be resolved. This is a huge issue for people in our age group. Like I said before, what you should be more worried about is your mental health and your health in general. Because, as I said before, if you are in a hospital because you're so stressed and you have so much anxiety, you can't get your degree. Does that make sense? Like, you can't do homework from a hospital room. I mean, I guess you could, but it ain't gonna be very fun. There's no point in being this stressed out over a grade that's never going to matter. Ever. it's just never going to matter. That's not a piece of paper that's going to follow you around for the rest of your life. It's just not. Now, in some jobs, yeah, they're going to care, but that's not the only thing that makes or breaks you. I promise you. And one last time, I encourage everyone who's struggling, reach out for help. Please. It can make a huge difference. Once you reach out for help, maybe you'll be doing better in college if you're struggling right now. I was struggling when I first came into college, I'm not going to lie. It's a huge change, and it's a huge, huge life decision coming into college. But in the end, if you just take a chance and run with it, you'll look back at life and say, I have no regrets. That's my advice, and that is my speech. Thank you.